Hey, Michael.
Pretty good. How are you, Glenn?
Good.
Looks like you're not in your usual spot.
Oh, this is where I sat last time too.
Oh,
I've started playing over here on the couch and everything. It's much better. And I've reverted to just using the MacBook instead of anything like an audio interface and everything.
yeah,
There's
it
Barb.
doesn't seem like there's that much difference in quality.
And it's so much less hassle.
Yeah.
Hey, Barb.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm tired again.
You gotta slow down, Barb.
Well, I have an older neighbor, and he's in his late 80s, and I don't think anybody's mowed his yard in weeks. It was really bad. I just went over there and mowed his front yard today for him. I
Ah,
didn't even know I did it.
where's all those neighborhood kids?
They're too young to run a lawnmower.
It's the next generation, huh?
Yeah, Trevor, who does mine every once in a while, he is leaving for Hawaii this weekend with his parents and grandparents. And the day he comes back, he's moving into his own apartment. So he's going to
Wow.
leave in the neighborhood, but I still can text him and he would mow my yard whenever I asked him to.
You know what you need to do, Barb, is get some goats.
You know, I walk on this irrigation ditch trail, and when you first go on the trail, there's a house across from the creek, and they have two huge goats, and they don't have any grass left in their backyard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll eat anything, right?
Oh my God, yeah. And
When I had
they're really big.
Yeah. When I had my hiking group back in when I was living in Denver, I had a meetup group which would do hiking. And one time this gal showed up and she brought a goat with her, this huge goat, Jupiter. And it didn't like other people walking in front of it, right? In front of him, like he'd put his head down and bite you in the ass and stuff, right? But he was also too slow. She ended up quitting about halfway through and leaving with the goat, right? But the goat, here's the thing, she got the goat to be a companion for her horse, but the goat lived in her house with her.
Was it a
So goats can be
milk?
house trained?
No, I think it just went in the house. It just pooped
Oh,
and peed in the house, right? Yeah, I know.
I don't think so. Not for me. My chickens are in the coop. I had to rehome my older chicken because every time I tried to introduce the new chickens with her, she started going after them.
Oh, really?
It wasn't fair, one big one against three littles. So I gave her to my friend Willie, and he has like 30 chickens at his place, and his older chickens were picking on Sienna. So he
Uh,
ended up rehoming her to somebody else, I think, in their neighborhood. But she's in a good place now,
okay.
and my little ones are getting big.
Wow.
Yeah, they're almost 2 months old.
Okay. So the old story about you took the pet up to a farm up in the country.
Chicken dinner. No,
Yeah, you chick somebody's chicken dinner, yeah.
I couldn't
rehoused,
do
huh?
that to me. What's that?
Rehoused? Is that what you said?
re
Rehomed.
rehome.
Rehomed? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It just wasn't working out.
Well, that's too bad, but I guess now you'll have three of a similar age, so
Oh yeah, these three they snuggle up and all sleep together, and they finally learned they have the whole coop to themselves now. They eat a storm. I can't believe how much they've been eating, but that's what's gonna make them get bigger. But what was I gonna say? Oh, they finally used the perch. I came
oh,
out and I had all three of them all snuggled up on the perch in the coop.
nice.
So that was kind of cool.
How
Yeah.
high's the perch?
Um, oh, it's probably 18 inches or so off
So
the
they have to flap their wings to get up there, I guess, huh?
I no, I guess they just jump
Yeah.
up. Yep. But
Are they out in the yard?
what? No, I haven't been letting them out there yet
Oh, okay.
because they still are not real cool with me. I think they like, oh, she's coming after me, and I don't want to have to chase after them. I'm tired enough as it is.
I was sitting at my desk today, and I have my desk in my bedroom, and there's a door right to the patio there, and this roadrunner came around the corner, and they can't really see in because it's bright outside and kind of dark inside, but came right up to the window and was looking in there, right? But the friggin' thing looked just like a velociraptor or whatever, right? Like it's just single purpose, right? The way it was moving and hunting for lizards and stuff, like just going, checking all the nooks and crannies and everything, right? Like they're really cool. Um,
Mm.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Well, they
I
say that
accident.
dinosaurs are
Oh, okay.
closer to birds than they are to
Chickens are
reptiles.
related to dinosaurs. That's
Oh,
what.
birds are descended, yeah, right?
Yeah.
How many fossils do they find now of dinosaurs that have feathers,
Yeah.
They found a bunch, right? So, but it's pretty cool, like just watching them, right? Yeah. So anyways.
I was mowing my yard the other day and I accidentally killed a garter snake. I mowed it over before I saw it.
The chickens would, big chickens would probably go after a
Oh,
garter.
yeah, I don't think there's much of it left out in the back.
Wow.
But yeah, I was doing my backyard and I like having those. They're really pretty. They're like orange and black garter snakes, and
They take care of pests and, they're good.
somebody would do something about all the rabbits we have in our neighborhood.
So that picture of the snake that you sent, Glenn, that was a bull snake, right?
Which,
Oh,
which one? The video?
yeah, well, that's right. You said it had
Oh, it was a diamondback.
its
It was a
rattler was cut
diamondback.
off or something. That's right.
Yeah, apparently they're rattles. Like they often lose the rattles, or insects actually burrow into their rattles and stuff because the rattles are made out of like our like fingernail type material or whatever, right? So that's not unusual. You could see at the end where the rattle had been broken off. You could see on the end of the tail, right? But it was definitely a diamondback, yeah.
Wow.
And on the big side of for diamondbacks, right? They're typically between 1 and 4 feet. This one was bigger than 4 feet,
Oh my
so.
gosh.
Yeah. So that was cool though. It was pretty cool. So yep. So it finally sold that friggin' piano last night. It's been like a really good 24 hours, right? If I sold my piano, got first what I was asking price, no disc dickering or everything. I was trying to sell that even back in Denver, right? What the hell else happened? Oh, finally got my purchase order on this project I've been waiting for. So that's like 650 grand for me to work half time for the next year. Um,
650 grand?
yeah, our billable billing rates are crazy, like $335 an hour. Um, yeah, I know. But they're paying it, so that's things cost. That's what they cost, right?
Hmm.
What the hell else happened? There's a whole bunch of other things. But anyways, it's been a good 24 hours, so.
He's in the money.
Oh, that doesn't go to me. They always think, clients always think that goes directly in your pocket, right? It doesn't. I get a fraction of that. But Shaneline, what happened to Ruth's son's arm?
So he rides an electric bicycle to work every day, hardly ever drives his car. And, we've had a lot of rain here. And he goes under an underpass. He goes through an underpass on his way into work. And I guess some water had accumulated there, but underneath the water I'm assuming that there was mud under there
Right.
because he hit the mud and just wiped out and landed on his shoulder. And I guess he's going in for pre-op tomorrow. But apparently the cartilage on the top of his
Scapula.
humerus, not the humerus, is it yeah.
Scapula. His shoulder.
Okay, but I guess this is one that covers the
Oh,
ball or it's from in the socket. Anyway, the cartilage was loose and displaced. So he's going to have that surgically replaced
Mm.
or fixed
Wow.
anyway. They won't, I
Yeah.
don't know what they'll do, but,
I
and
mean, I've had
so I
both.
guess he's going to be moving in with her for a while. So,
Oh, yeah.
One-armed bandit.
yep,
Yeah, I've had both rotator cuffs done, right? So,
really.
yeah, on the one they did they had to use anchors, right? So they have metal anchors and they anchor the cartilage back into the bone and stuff, right? So,
Was that from accidents or
no, just
wear and
from
tear?
general just wear and tear over the years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not supposed to do like any certain kinds of weight. Like I used to do a lot of shoulder presses, dips, and the guy said, "Nah, you can't do that anymore," right? Just stuff where your arms are in front of you. So you can do like curls and stuff, right? And,
Uh-huh.
so
And you can do push-ups, I
I
guess.
have been doing a lot of push-up. I do a lot of push-ups, so I hope so.
I've been doing so much yard work that I have some pretty big biceps
Well,
going.
look at those.
Look at
Wow.
that. Wow.
I know I did edging too, the whole yard earlier this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are coming down, Shane Line, on that weekend. That'll be fun.
Yeah, assuming I still know Ruth by then. You know, she when her son is around, I guess she's uncomfortable with me being around. So, I mean,
Um,
it's not like we don't know each other face to face, but um, and since she's been sick for these last 3 weeks, we've been talking, and we did get together once to watch a movie, but so we'll have to reacquaint ourselves with each other and Telluride.
Mhm.
oh, that's right. Is that this weekend?
Next weekend.
Okay. Well,
What
if
day
she,
are we on?
if she ends up having to stay home with her son or something, just come down by yourself, right?
Yeah, I'll do that. And I've got other friends there that are going to want to have us spend time with them.
Absolutely, right? We could even
So
have them over here if you want, right? If they want to come
yeah,
over here.
they might be interested in your jam and stuff.
Yeah, so they play music and everything, huh?
Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be cool.
I've told you about Pat Arufo and Bill Balassi. They're a duo, and they perform around town at folk festivals and stuff. They do a lot of Irish music, and
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be
so
good to get them
we leave
introduced to
for the eight.
Ken.
Hmm?
Get them introduced to Ken.
Yeah. They know Ken. They've been to house concerts at his
Oh,
place.
they have. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Did you
So we
hear?
leave the 18th. So next Wednesday.
Okay,
Oh,
and come back on the Sunday.
We'll be back on the 23rd.
Okay,
And Ruth has something going on she and Ed have a gig the 25th.
okay.
And I have a blood donation on the 26th. So we could head down but like noon on the 26th or the
That'd be
morning of the
perfect.
27th.
Take the back
Yeah.
way. You'll be here by 6 in the evening. Go
So
get
when you
dinner.
say the back way, do you do 287 or
285.
yeah,
285
through
down.
Alamosa?
Yeah, yeah. And then
Okay.
and then you end up coming into Santa Fe from the backside.
Yeah, I used to do that sometimes when we weren't in a hurry. The other one is you can go down to Walsenburg,
Oh, cut
and
across there.
there's a little pass you go over, and you end up in Fort Garland. Is that
That sounds right.
yeah, and then head south from there. Yeah,
The thing
I
is,
know.
the back way really isn't much slower, right? Like it's not the interstate, and you're not like racing and everybody and getting all stressed out.
The distance is a lot less
Yeah,
because
distance a lot
that
less, but
25
speeds.
curves around the
Yeah,
wrong way for a while.
but speeds are slower, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful, and going by you're in between the Sangre de Cristals on one side and what's the other range?
Oh, yeah. What is that?
With
I
Crestone Peak and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what are those called? Damn it. Anyway,
The are they not called the Crestones? Maybe.
well, maybe they're the Sangres. And what is
Yeah,
the mountain range of Durango?
I don't know.
I used to know. I hate it when stuff that's been familiar with me for years and years, I forget.
That happens to me all the time now. Although it's been better recently. Yeah, it'll be you should definitely it'll be fun to have you guys down here for we'll
Yeah.
get good Mexican food and check out, all your old haunts and stuff. The Breaking Bad, Mike White's, what's his name? Something White. Who was the guy that made
Walter White.
Walter White? Yeah, his house is only 10 minutes from here, so
Has it sold? You said it was on the market for.
I'll have to check. I doubt if it did. They wanted 4 million for it, right?
No.
Without the connection, it's like a $350,000 house, right?
Uh-huh.
Why would anybody buy a house where you got people showing up every day to gawk and throw pizzas on your roof and do everything else, right?
Right.
It's ridiculous, right? All right. Well, I'll kick it off. I don't know. Doug said he might pop in. He had something going on. He might pop in when he gets back. I told Ruth if she's not, totally committed to nursing, she can pop on when she
It'd be nice to see your face, other than just hearing her voice.
You weren't on last week, were you, Barb? Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, I had a meeting for the radio station. Last weekend was our birthday bash, our 22nd year. And so I was volunteering out at Odell's on Saturday. And then afterwards, I went to Glenn Zanke's memorial service at Willie and Susan's house, who lives right next door from where Glenn and Joanne live, and played music.
Oh, nice.
Stuff. I did one song and told a couple stories about Glenn. He was the guitar player for the Bluegrass Patriots, and every time he played with them, I always was sitting there going, break a string, because he could change a string in under a minute.
Oh, wow.
That's like
Yeah.
the damn tall buildings that at Winterfest,
Midwinter.
midwinter. He broke a string in the middle of a song, and it probably was a little bit over a minute, but he did a damn good job of changing that string.
He would break strings all the time. So every time I would go see them, I would be like, break a string so I can time you.
It's part of the act. You know.
And
Yeah.
now I'll shut up. And
Speaking of memorial,
it was really busy.
yeah. Speaking of memorial things, that's Sax Brian Wilson, huh?
Yeah.
I guess he was.
Sly Stone too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't see that.
The day
Okay.
before, yeah, a couple days ago.
Did you guys watch that Doobie Brothers thing though? Wasn't that good?
I
Did you-
watched a minute and a half of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was really good. Yeah, you keep watching it. They do some really good sax solos and stuff like that. I thought it was really well done, considering how long they've been around,
Yeah.
You could tell the guy like singing, his voice still sounded the same, but he couldn't quite hold the long notes as long and stuff, right? But it was still good. The hell is that? Bus full of people going up to, weird. All right. This one I've just started playing this one, so you'll have to bear with me. Let me get my music up so I can remember. Yep.
Can't hear your guitar at all.
Oh, hold on. You know why? Because I forgot to put original sound on. Hold on. Look at that. That's pretty bad for me to forget to do that. There it is. Better? Okay. Thanks, Barb. Oops, where's my... There it is. Couldn't be happy in the city at night. You can't see the stars or the neon lights. Sidewalks dirty and the river's worse. Underground trains all run in reverse. Nobody here can dance like me. Everybody clapping on the 1 and the 3. Am I the last of my kind? Am I the last of my kind? So many people with so much to do. Winter so cold my hands turn blue. Old men sleeping on the filthy ground. Spend their whole day just walking around. Nobody here seems to care. They walk right past them like they ain't even there. Am I the last of my kind? Am I the last of my kind. Daddy said the river would always lead me home, but the river can't take me back in time. Daddy's dead and gone. The family farm's a parking lot for Walton's five and dime. Am I the last of my kind? Am I the last of my kind? Tried to go to college, but I didn't belong. Everything I said was either funny or wrong. Laughed at my boots, laughed at my jeans, laughed when they gave me amphetamines. Left me alone in a bad part of town, 36 hours to come back down. Am I the last of my kind? Am I the last of my kind? Mama said God won't give you too much to bear. That might be true in Arkansas, but I'm a long, long way from there. The whole world's an old and faded picture in my mind. Am I the last of my kind? 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 Oh my God, how's that go? Well, clearly I just started playing that, so
I like that song. And by
that's
the way, Martin Gilmore and his parents and stuff, they were all at the memorial thing on Saturday. I think they might have been there on Sunday too.
okay. I think Martin has yet another album out. I keep buying his albums, but they seem to come out really often. uh, all right.
He's involved in a bunch of groups too, right?
I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah. I mean, I think he's just a really hardworking, trying to earn a living type musician. You know, he does everything that he plays down here even occasionally. You know. So, any volunteers to go next?
I'll go, so I don't have to go after Barb.
Oh, so then I have to. Crap, because there's only three of us.
Okay, well, this is a song that I think it was Rick Beato said it's the greatest country song ever written, but it doesn't sound country to me. And it's from my late teens, early adulthood years. So, and let's see how do I want to set the scroll? It's a short song. Okay. I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wires, I can hear you through the whine, and the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. and the Wichita lineman is still on the line. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. Damn it, I had worked something out for the outro, but then I forgot how I did it in the middle of it.
I always like that song.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that thing I'd sent? Did you watch the video I'd sent around about when you screw up in big moments or whatever? When people screw up in big
Oh,
moments.
no.
So it's because but they did a bunch of studies and stuff, and really what it is you've got to allow the subconscious part of your mind to handle that stuff. Like when you're in front of an audience or doing whatever, you start to think, oh damn, what if I miss this chord? You start focusing on stuff that you don't focus on when you're just playing by yourself or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Right? And that causes you to totally mess up. Like you've got to leave that to your subconscious and just play, right? So,
Yep.
like even, when I did that first song, right? I'm messing up stuff that I don't mess up when even though I just started playing it, it's crazy.
So, and and a lot of these, you think that you're playing it pretty spontaneously when you're practicing, but you don't realize how many times you start over. And you really need to practice a lot to get the fluidity.
By the way, Barb, I was listening to that, what is it called? Cold Front again today, your album, on the
Yeah.
car. That is a really good album.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
it's really good.
I'm a little rusty tonight. I'm not in great form, so anyhow, we'll see how it goes. You left before the bright lights of the town. A country boy set out to see the world. But remember when those neon lights shine down, that big old moon shines on your Kentucky girl. Well, I swear I love you by the moon above you. How bright it is shining in your world. So some morning when you wake up all alone, just come on home to your blue Kentucky girl. wait to bring great riches home to me. I need no diamond rings or fancy pearls. Just bring yourself, you're all I'll ever need. That's good enough for this blue Kentucky girl. Well, I swear I love you by the moon above you. How bright is shining in your world. Some morning when you wake up all alone, just come on home to your blue Kentucky girl. Just come on home to your blue Kentucky girl.
Wonderful as usual.
Yeah, nice job,
Oh.
Barb. Sounded good to me.
Well, thank you. I'm definitely not in my tip-top shape.
So I'm gonna do one on the ukulele. This
That
might
looks
be
like a carbon fiber. No, it's just painted black, huh?
no, it's actually it's carbon fiber and regular plastic, whatever. So it's some combination thereof. It's called an outdoor uke.
Is it new?
No, I've had it for a lot of years. And then I when Jenny and I were going out, I bought her one for Christmas. To me, it sounds just as good as I've had more expensive ukes and everything. Wood ukes and everything. This one sounds just as good. I think, and it stays in tune. It never goes out of tune.
Cool. Mason, when he was in Hawaii a few months ago, bought one while he was there. But I don't know how much he plays it, but
Yeah, they're a lot of fun if you spend some time on them, right? They're not a toy, right? Well, maybe in my hands they are, but if you get someone who can play, like who's the guy at Swallow Hill? My God, what is his name? I took a bunch of lessons from him. I can see his face. Anyways, he's good. So, all right, we'll give it a shot. Um, can you hear that at all? Okay.
Yeah.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright breasted days and dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That sounded really good.
that sounded great.
I love the chords to that,
It's
and they work really well on the uke, and you sang it well too.
Hey, if you ever want to do the uke, you pick up this book, right? The Daily Ukulele. It's got like 365 songs, but they do a really good job of arranging them for the ukulele, right? So they do a really good job. So, um,
If you like ukulele music, there's a gal named Danielle Anderson, and she has a band called Danielle Ate the Sandwich.
is that did she used to be Danielle Katzer or something like that? Did she get married or something?
I don't
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I haven't
Oh,
seen her in ages, but I know she has a new album out. But she did the music to this documentary about this woman who was an artist back in the early 1900s, and she did all the music for the documentary.
oh wow.
Yeah. Anyhow, if you want to hear some good ukulele stuff,
Oh,
and
there you go.
the documentary is called "Packed in a Trunk."
Okay.
Oh, good.
My God, it just started raining here again. It's been raining. We've gotten so much rain.
Today
Um,
was the first day. Well, yesterday was the first. Well, this week actually, we had over 8 days straight of rain.
wow.
This week, Saturday was great. I think it drizzled a little bit on Sunday evening, and today, um, I mean, there's really dark clouds in the sky. We got a couple of rumbles of thunder, but it never dropped anything today, at least here.
Must be pretty green there, I would guess, huh?
Oh my gosh.
It's nice, yeah. And I rode along Clear Creek yesterday, and it's flowing really high.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So I guess climate change is false then. So, okay.
You guess what?
Climate
Climate
change
change. Oh,
is a
that's
real
right.
thing. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was close to 90 degrees yesterday and today, and that's almost record setting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're supposed to be in the high 90s here come the weekend, I think.
I'm having my house painted, and there was just enough of a sprinkle late afternoon that they had to quit, so they're coming back tomorrow. It's been
Oh,
weird. The guy told me they'd come to work on Tuesday and they could likely finish in a day. Well, Tuesday it turned out to just be a walkthrough, which was 45 minutes. Then today, instead of a full crew, just a father and son showed up, and all they did was a lot of trim and masking and stuff. So they're having to come back tomorrow, and they might not finish tomorrow. So
wow.
it's a big deal, but it'll be nice when it's done.
Yeah, friggin' contractors,
Yeah. So this guy and his son were the painters today, and he didn't speak any English, so it was a good chance for me to practice my Spanish. And he was very polite, spoke slowly so I could understand about half of what he was saying. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I felt a sense of camaraderie with him and everything. And he's probably not here legally, or maybe he's here on a work visa, but I felt bad for him. But he was a really hard worker and a really nice guy. So hope things work out for him. Okay, well, when I was working on Wichita Lineman, then of course this song came to mind. So I had to pull this one out of blow the dust off of it. By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note I left hanging on her door. She'll laugh when she reads the part that says I'm leaving, 'cause I've left that girl so many times before. By the time I reach Albuquerque, she'll be working. She'll probably stop at lunch and give me a call. she'll just hear that phone keep on ringing off the wall. That's all. By the time I reach Oklahoma, she'll be sleeping. She'll turn softly, call my name out low. She'll cry just to think I'd really leave her. Though time and time I've tried to tell her so, she just didn't know I would really go.
Nice fade out.
That's a sad song.
Glenn Campbell night.
Was
Yeah.
it Jimmy Webb who wrote all his songs? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been interviewed by, what's his name?
Oh, Beato.
Yeah, Rich Beato a couple times. And when he does these songs, he does them on the piano when he puts all these really strange chords with unusual harmonies in them.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't like them as much as the way Glenn Campbell does them. Even
guess
though
there's
I appreciate him as the songwriter.
Right. I guess there's a reason why Jimmy Webb wasn't the one on the radio.
Yeah, well, he did record them, but
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, you know the who was it when who's the gal? What's her name? Oh my God. God. See, now I'm doing the same thing you were, Shane Line. Tapestry album.
Carole King.
Carole
Carole King,
Yeah.
because she was James Taylor's piano player, right? When he was out touring, and then he started just tossing it to her at during the shows sometimes, and just say, "Here, Carol, do a few of your songs or whatever," right? And so she got the record contract. But Tapestry was her first album, right? Those are all her songs. Other people had recorded a bunch of them, of course, right? And that was, for decades, was the best-selling album, right? Until Michael Jackson's Thriller came out.
Really?
Yeah, Tapestry, like it was 73 or something. I think it came out. It was early 70s, I think, right? And so for decades, it was that best-selling. No other album surpassed it, right? So it's a great album, for somebody's first album, But you guys, I didn't know this before, but I think you guys brought it up on here before, that her and her husband, when they were really young, were a great songwriting duo, writing all those old.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
Those
had a
long
lot
songs.
of experience and had written a lot of songs by that time, So sorry, Barb, didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. Let's see here. What am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna do this Jimmy Rogers tune, and it's called The Hobo's Meditation. Last night as I lay on the boxcar, just waiting for a train to pass by, what will become of the hobo whenever his time comes to die? Well, there's a master up yonder in heaven, got a place that we might call our home. Will we have to work for a living, or can we continue to roam? Will there be any freight trains in heaven? Any boxcars in which we might hide? Will there be any chakars or brakemen? Will they tell us that we cannot ride? And will the hobo chum with the rich man? Will we always have money to spend? Will they have respect for hobo in that land that lies hidden up there? Will there be any freight trains in heaven? Any boxcars which we might hide? Will there be any chakars or brakemen? And will they tell us that we cannot ride? And will the hobo chum with the rich man? Will we always have money to spend? Will they have respect for the hobo in the land that lies hidden up there? Will they have respect for the hobo in the land that lies hidden up there?
I have an album that's Jimmy Rogers songs, but other people cover them. And I need to see if I'm going to see if that song is on the album because
You have the trio album of Linda Ronstadt and Dolly Parton and Emmylou Harris. Linda Ronstadt does a version on the trio album of that song.
I do have that. So
You did a Jimmy Rogers hobo song before, Mike.
well, I do Hobo Billy.
Hobo Billy.
I don't think he wrote. I'm not sure who wrote that, but I don't think it's a
Oh.
Jimmy Rogers.
Oh, it's not Jimmy Rogers?
song.
I'm guessing.
He
I'm
usually
guessing that Jimmy
yodels.
Rogers. Yeah, I'm guessing Jimmy Rogers has more than one song about hobos.
Yeah, this probably is a Jimmy Rogers song.
Yeah, hobos and trains. That was kind of the whole thing. Didn't he even wear like an engineer's cap and everything? And
Uh-huh.
yeah, but didn't he have emphysema or tuberculosis or something? He had, didn't he? Jimmy Rogers.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it now, so.
all right. I'm just winging it now. Let's see. I got a couple prospects I could do. I think I'll do this one. Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists covered with oil, strumming my six string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I think it's nobody's fault. I don't know the reason I stayed here all season, with nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I think it's nobody's fault. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I think it's nobody's fault. I blew out a flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top, cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I think it's nobody's fault. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. I can't believe I did that, but I know it's my own damn fault. That's another one I can normally do in my sleep, and what do? I screw it up there right at the end.
No, I understand.
That's amazing, you know, it really is how that happens.
And I practice these songs in the morning in my living room, and I feel like I'm doing them pretty well. I get down here in the basement, sing into the computer, and it's like, oh, and I lose the feel for the songs even. You know what I mean? Well, this song is long. It's got 7 verses. I'm just going to do 4 verses of it. So I'll leave you hanging.
Okay.
Early one morning the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she'd changed at all, if her hair was still red. Her folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress. Papa's bank book wasn't big enough. And I was standing on the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, headed out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through, tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoned it out west. Split up on the docks that night, both agreeing it was best. She turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blues. I had a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. But I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where I lucky was to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. But all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I seen a lot of women, she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. Well, she was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. I just kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned out, I just abandoned the scene. She was standing there in the back of my chair, said, "Tell me, don't I know your name?" I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines of my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoe. Tangled up in blue. That's one of those songs where you wish you had a capo that could lower it a few steps. But I tried to put a capo high up and then play it in a lower key, but it just didn't have the same feel. So
Is that Dylan? Who's that?
yeah.
Okay.
So
I
many
just
people.
saw that movie.
Oh,
Yeah. What's the
What movie's that?
I'm not there or something like
No,
that.
no. It's called. Oh man.
We're all doing this tonight.
With Tim Chalamet.
Yeah, isn't it?
Complete Unknown.
Complete Unknown. That's right.
Is it about Dylan?
Yeah.
Oh,
He he plays Bob Dylan. He learned all the songs and
Oh, right.
yeah.
yeah.
See, I'm not
was
big
okay.
on the I'm not big on the biopic thing, you know. Yeah.
This one was good.
Was it? Yeah.
Ruth and I went to see it when it first came out, and it starts with his early stuff, which is the stuff that I matured on.
Mm-hmm.
This is the album that this song was on. People that are a few years younger than me say, "Oh, it's Dylan's greatest album." I cut my teeth on Dylan when I first heard this album, but by the time this one came out, I was married and not I wasn't listening to Dylan that much anymore. But my
You were
brother-in-law
pining.
loves this.
You were pining for his old stuff. You were like, man, he sold out. He went electric.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have an opinion. It's not like I didn't like him anymore. I just was in a different period of my life where I wasn't
Absolutely.
smoking
Right?
dope anymore, or
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, I got to tell you this because this is the weirdest thing. When you're coming down, Martin and Lauren, they just got married in Philadelphia, right? They're still up there or still traveling around, but they're coming back. So that celebration is kind of their local for getting married. But you know that, like Amelia, Martin's ex-wife, moved out of that house, and then Martin and Lauren moved back in like about a week later. But Lauren hired some kind of spiritualist to come into the house
Stage it.
and get rid of
That juju.
to exercise all the.
to get rid of all of Amy's spirits.
Oh man,
Like my God, right? I mean, anyways,
did they
yeah.
have some celebrity show up at their wedding? I forget.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, it was Raleigh Brown.
okay, that's right.
Yeah, because Raleigh used to play for them. The girls from Mars in Philly.
Oh,
Yeah, because Raleigh lives in Philly, right? So he knows her through that connection. But yeah, in any event, I just thought that was so ridiculous. Like a few years ago, before he started taking edibles every day, Martin would have called that spiritual shit out for the bullshit that it is, right? But now he's all, it's like, oh God.
He's drunk the Kool-Aid.
When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky, where my parents were born, to the backwards old town that's often remembered. So many times that my memory is worn. So Daddy, won't you take me back to Newburgh County, down by the Green River where paradise lays? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train's hauled it away. Well, sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Adria Hill. Well, the air smelled like snakes and we chewed with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all we would kill. So Daddy, won't you take me back to Newburgh County, down by the Green River where paradise lays? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train's hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber and they stripped all the land. Well, they dug for that coal till the land was forsaken. They wrote it all down as the progress of man. So Daddy, won't you take me back to Newburgh County, down by the Green River where paradise lays? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away. When I died, let my ashes flow down the Green River. Let my soul wander off to the Rochester Dam. Halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. So Daddy, won't you take me back to Newburgh County, down by the Green River where paradise lays? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away. Well, Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away.
Good harmonies backing you up there, Barb.
I wish I could hurt him.
I can hear him now. Your chicks.
Oh, you
Oh
can hear
no,
the
those are just some birds.
Oh, I thought those were your chicks. Okay.
No, these are just regular birds chirping away right outside my door here. I have my
Screen door.
slider door open.
Nice.
Yeah, they're just singing away.
That's what here. I throw open my windows and like I get up fairly early and I throw them open to cool the house down before, so I can shut it up so I don't have to have the air conditioning running all day. But yeah, it's like a cacophony of birds and everything in the morning. And somebody around here has chickens because or a chicken at least, because didn't know what it was at first, but I'm pretty
I
sure.
have a backyard neighbor like two houses down here that has several chickens. I hear them in the morning.
I saw I was actually thinking about buying it. I still might, but I was at the At Home, which is a kind of a home decor store, but they had over 6 foot tall metal rooster, brightly painted like down in New Mexico type thing for the yard.
Cool.
Because I don't really have any. This house is too modern. It doesn't really have that New Mexico vibe. I've got the one rooster back there, but yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah, I see them on the shelf.
yeah, yeah. So, but
Cool.
anyways, well, that was fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
Good to see everybody again. Looking
yeah.
forward to seeing you guys come down, Mike. That'll be fun.
Yeah. That'll be
Check
great.
out your old haunts.
Yeah. See if I can find the houses where I used to live.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All
My
right.
parents, you know, in the Rio Rancho Estates, Little New York, my
Mhm.
parents bought a lot down there. Never did anything with it. I don't think where they purchased their lot was ever developed. But when my parents died, they left it to my brother.
Okay.
So
I
they
think
still
yeah, I think I saw something about that. There was a huge scam where these guys bought up all this desert land and sold lots to people.
scrub. It was just a bunch of
Yeah.
scrub.
Yeah, there was no facilities or anything else like that. Yeah, it was a huge scam. I'll see if I can dig up. I watched the video one time on one of the local news stories or stations did a story on it and talks all through it and everything, right? Because they did sell
My
it.
father and mother, yep,
Yeah,
they own I don't know if it's an acre or 2 acres or something like that. But yeah, they never developed that area. It's still all scrub. I know one time when my husband was alive, we were down in New Mexico and we drove by there just to check it out, to see what it was all about. There was nothing.
and you probably couldn't even. There's probably even no roads going anywhere near where your land was, right?
Totally not. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all scrub.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nothing but a scam. And they were targeting people out east, and in the northeast and everything, right? Oh, look at this beauty. Because there's mountains. They were showing photos. Some of the photos they were using in their advertising weren't even from New Mexico. So
Well, Rio Rancho itself was a booming satellite city when I lived in Albuquerque, and it's probably almost as big as Albuquerque now.
Oh, it's bigger. When I went across, like I went over there to buy some used furniture from somebody, and I've been over there a few times now, the other side of the river. I didn't realize how much was friggin' over there, right?
Yeah.
It's way more than even on this side of the river, right? And
Hmm.
it's like suburbia like any other city, right? Like this side of the river Albuquerque has some character to it and everything. Over there, it's just suburbia, just like
Just
anywhere
housing
else.
tracks is all
Yeah,
it is,
yeah,
Yeah,
and a high
yeah.
just
school.
back houses and no adobe and
Yeah, it's all houses and all the chain restaurants and the mall, like all those stores, all the chain stores, and that's all it is, right? It
Westminster is like that. When I
yeah,
go up to Ruth's and we want to go out to eat or something, all the restaurants are in malls,
yeah.
shopping centers. And down here, we can walk to all kinds of really nice places to eat and stuff. But
That's one thing I don't have here, which I wish I did. Like a lot, people walk here a lot because they go up to the trailhead and they're walking their dogs and everything around the neighborhood. But there is nowhere to walk to eat or grab a beer or anything here, right?
yeah,
Which is.
there's
But
things to be said for urban living.
absolutely, right? Yeah, if you can get a good combination too, right?
Yeah. Well, I
That's
can
always
ride my
good.
bike and be up on Lookout Mountain in an hour
Yeah,
and get a lot of good exercise. So I have the best of both worlds, really.
yeah, that's awesome. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. So,
Yep.
same time, same channel next week.
Oh, well, we'll be on our way to Telluride, I guess.
Oh, you're driving to Telluride. Okay, so we may have to cancel next week unless I can get a couple fill-ins. Okay, I'll see. I'll try. Maybe I can get Barb and maybe Jenny. I think Jenny's available next week. So
If we get to Telluride in time, we could tune in because I'll have my laptop. But
and maybe you could grab Isbell and have him join too.
yeah, well, he'll probably be in my hotel. So
Jenny sent me another interview with him today. I'll send it along if you want.
I think I saw a YouTube where he's talking about his guitar tricks or something. Maybe
Oh
this
no,
is,
this was some guy interviewing just about general stuff and
yeah.
yeah. But anyways, all right, guys.
All right, thanks.
Toodaloo.
See you later.